How's it going, everybody? It's Word here with another video, and yeah, I'm just going to showcase the attacks that I did actually technically yesterday. I went 312, as you can see, an unfortunate 99% right there, and we're going to go over those. The first attack of the day, I forgot to record, so we're going to go over that one in a replay, and then we're going to get into the live hits, but this is the army that I'm using. Same old, same old. You've seen this in my last couple videos now. Just a spiky ball is the only thing not maxed, everything else looking good, and yeah, let's get into that replay and see how it went. Alright, so this was the first attack of the day. Pretty classic base. You'll see this one all the time, and I set it up pretty similarly every time. Almost always I'll go for a flinger onto this kind of 3 o'clock side. You'll see, if you look at the expo ranges, like when you tap on an expo, it shows you them all when in a live hit. And it just shows you, like, that right side of the base is pretty free. And with the mono being so deep, you can actually pick up, you know, the multi plus one of these buildings. I'd rather get the gear tower, so that's what I was deciding on, but I went for the gear tower here, and the barges are actually really nice for this, so I set up a nice flinger. Hog, just to check for any skeleton traps that might kind of mess me up on my approach to the multi. And then, yeah, we're starting from 12 o'clock. What I like to do on this base is fireball the core. Sometimes it's close enough for fireballing this building to get the clan castle. On this particular base, you need 4 tiles, so there's 3 tiles of the ricochet cannon, 4. You'll hit the wall, but you won't even, you're 2 tiles away from the clan castle, so not really close. So in that case, I wanted to hit the ricochet cannon because I really do want to get the clan castle down on this one. It's really helpful. I'm using the Barchers once again right here to take out some of these buildings to help set up my fireball. And now these 3 buildings are a really nice cluster to invis together. But this Tesla now kind of sticks out. So I probably will take it down. If not, it's because it's going to be next to the fire spitter. But yeah, we're going to probably trim out some of these defenses on the right. Maybe the wizard tower just to be safe. But I'm getting ready to fireball. I think one new thing I learned was looking at the Rage Gem to help me learn the distance of the fireball. That's something I can't believe I didn't know. Like, oh, sorry. Everybody knows that, and was like, what? You haven't heard that? So I don't know how in the world I didn't know that, but I didn't. So that's something I've been learning. Freezing the Headhunter right here, and yeah, I let my Warden charge for quite a while on this one, but that was just because it's really going to help lessen the number of invis I need. I just go to make sure I hit it right there. We get the quakes in. Clan Castle goes down, and now we're looking set up really, really nicely. So I'm going to try and set up my approach right here. The wall breaker is successful. I think a skeleton spell I used in here because that's some really nice value. Unfortunately, I didn't even distract the scatter or the Rico, which would have been nice. And look at that. I was like, there's no way my Warden just got pulled. First attack of the day, not going to plan. I was furious. I thought I was going to fail because how long I waited on the Warden charge meant there wasn't a lot of time left. And so yeah, I thought I was going to time fail this one for sure, and I was quite upset, not going to lie, because this was a beautiful, beautiful approach, and it just wasn't going to go down in time. So then I looked over and saw my heroes doing incredibly well right here. My Minion Prince does very well with his ability. The King just popped in a perfect spot, and I was like, hold on, there's literally no base left. So the Flinger did amazing, the Fireball did well, and the Warden charged a lot of the base. There just wasn't a whole lot left, so even though my Warden joined in, I overkilled this base, so that was really nice. Unfortunately, my Minion Prince hit a black mine right there, so that sucks because, yeah, now he's going to, you know, leave it all up to my queen, and it'll just take longer for her. But I got a lot of cleanup. You see the wizards up there, wizards down below. That's why I like to bring the wizards. They're just a lot quicker. And, yeah, we're going to get the triple on this one, which is a nice start to the day. Even though it wasn't incredibly to plan, it gave me hope for we're still going to triple. And let's see, you know, how the rest of the day goes. And obviously, you know, it went pretty well. So let's go into those attacks and see how they went live. Okay, first base. 2 turtles, 1 gem. Interesting clan name. Checking the expo ranges, I'm looking at, you know, this bottom side maybe for a flinger. I like to do that sometimes. Or, you know, the right side has a nice multi-archer tower. But I think I want to go behind that fire spitter kind of at the bottom. And a fireball is kind of tough on this one. This is an interesting base. I've never actually seen it before. But, yeah, I am liking what I'm seeing so far. And this one, obviously, like I mentioned, these are recorded the day after. So I already did this hit yesterday. And I wanted to land on the multi-gear because that would get me the Crusher Mortar Clan Castle for sure. And then, yeah, like I said, I set up that flinger on the right side. Making sure I take down this mortar. And yeah, I wanted to hit the Crusher Mortar, or sorry, the multi-gear. Really nice value in there. The Poison Tower also would be really good, but I did want to, like, it would actually also set up a good funnel because it would kind of break the ring with the multi-gear there and set up my Warden going up and heroes going down, no problem. But I did want to get the Clan Castle just because it's always nice. There could be some really annoying troops in there, so that's what we went for. I went in with the Rage right here as I was going to fight the Scatter Shot and double Expo. But so far, managing this damage really well. You see me using some Rocketloons, Barchers, trying to set up this Fireball. Going to snipe out this air defense, or maybe not because of how it's together with the clump of buildings. So I'm probably going to set up in a second right here. I'm looking at the invis. I see 1, 2, 3 on the right. And at that point, I realize, okay, I'm not going to, I was still deciding what to do. And then I was like, now the gold storage is dead, so I'm going to have to ice block. I was going to maybe not, but I just went in with this right here and fireballed. I think, I ended up hitting. Oh, no, I did hit the I thought when I did this live that I hit the multi-inferno. Turns out I didn't. But, yeah, leaving up the fire spitter is not ideal, but I do. Okay, never mind. I thought I wanted my heroes to go down, but turns out I liked the just Town Hall better for my Warden. Not a lot of damage for him to get through. I was worried right here. Look at this. My Warden getting dragged through the World Champion, but the Poison spell is there, really slowing her down so the healers can keep him topped up, and we're looking okay. He barely survives, though, and the balloons really help with the multi-arch towers, so we did survive. I get a nice skeleton spell in right there, but my heroes are getting cooked. This one, I remember my heroes did really bad. Like, right here, that's a tough section to get through, so of course they're not going to do very well, but you'll see the real power of the minion prince on this one. This is why, I don't understand. Some of you guys are saying, your videos are giving a convincing, argument for the minion prince, but I'm not sure. What are you not sure about? You can see it right here. Look at how slow all the defenses are. Look at him going over top of both of these ground expos. You know what I mean? Those are just going to crush your world champion and your heroes and stuff, and it just does nothing to him. So you see me right here go in for the Raged Up Minion Prince. I was a little worried, one black mine would make me lose this attack, and I send in a couple. I guess that's the risk right there, as one black mine could make me fail, but send in some wall breakers to tank, and yeah, we're looking decent. So my Sui did really awful on this one. Might have been worth swapping them with my Warden to make sure that they did get a little bit better value, because that was really tough, but I saw with the time left we're going to get this triple, so that was nice, because those are some hard bases, the double poison to determine what to go for and stuff, because there's not always good fireball value, but nice triple. And now into the next one. Look at this base, right? I'm looking at this what in the world is happening? So I figure there's something behind the fire spitters. There can't be nothing in this dead space, but that's weird. So I'm looking at this one. I see exposed expos, and I like the look of that, right? I want to take out an expo and set up a flinger. So I take down the left side with Rocketloons, that expo, and take out the archer tower and mortar probably, and then set up the flame flinger on that side, because I just wanted to fireball the double ricochet cannons, because they do a little bit more to my heroes than the archer towers would, because I'll be going Sui through the other rage compartments. So that's what I decided to do, and you'll see the approach I actually did, which I thought was really interesting and I really liked. I used all my Barchers early on this one. Not sure if that was good or not. I started really far from 9 with the flinger, because I couldn't also believe, I sent so many balloons, could not believe that a Seeking Air Mine hit my healers. I spent so many balloons, but right here my Warden is facing double rage defenses, so I barely get that off, but even if he hit the ricochet cannon, I wouldn't have been too upset. If he died is what I would have been upset about, but we landed the good fireball. Maybe I should have been a little bit less, more risk averse, let's say. But yeah, I started the flinger really far from 9, because I wanted to make sure that the expo that you do see up there in the rage compartment stayed as far away as possible, and then I could actually sort of walk into this 9 o'clock compartment maybe and go get that stuff. So now at this point, I see that wizard tower is going to drop, so I want to pull my Warden, and for him to go up, it'd be kind of tough. So I was like, you know what, let's just Sui with him, right? Let's utilize the rage gem, and I need to get in the rage compartment. This is probably where I'd start my Sui anyway. Might as well go with everything together. So I did that, and my plan on this one was to go with the minion prince into the backside. I saw a lot of black mines on entry for my healers, so I did figure there wasn't many left. So yeah, going with my minion prince right there. I was a little worried by how early my king died, that I was going to be maybe in trouble, but then I see he's still tanking. My queen's full HP right here, and she's doing really well. So yeah, I was really liking the look of that. The clan castle's already dead, so the ice golems can't slow me down anymore. And at this point, I go with the ability right here through most of the rage compartment, and stuff's the queen facing. I already raged my minion prince, so I'm going to rage my queen now, just to really help her get through this section that has the enemy minion prince. You see it right here destroying my giant, so it did get a lot of value against me. But yeah, like I said, just the queen staying up with the Warden the entire attack, and this one's going to be a triple. So we take down that bottom wizard tower, minion prince goes in, and I still have the queen and Warden together. So really nice triple on a really awkward base, and you don't see those often, but you got to have a little bit of ingenuity and figure out how to attack them because they're not something you usually have a plan against. So I liked that triple as well. And now into the next one, 47X TMPR is the number one clan in the world, if you've seen that. And yeah, I really wanted to make a triple on this clan because there's a lot of people now at my trophy range. I think I reset in the top 300. A lot of people are going to be in this clan, so I really want to make a statement and beat them. Also, I am in the second, clan in the world, Rule of Faith, so I do want to try to push our clan higher. But yeah, I like the flinger at the top side. I just don't know exactly how to set it up, so it took me a while to look right there. And my fireball is going into the core right here. I want to hit the clan castle, so I'm pretty confident the multi got it. I remember hitting this base if I was like, I don't know if I want to risk hitting the multi and not getting the clan castle, but I was pretty confident it did. So I think I went for the ricochet cannon, but I might have risked it and went in for the multi inferno. I just got to be careful here. I wanted to take on this mortar. I knew I'd need 3 because of the multi arch tower, but my warden was going to be a little bit of damage, so I had to keep him safe. I remember there was barely any space. So I freeze and I know he'll be okay. There was barely any space on this base between the multi-inferno and multi-arch tower, so I was like, please, and I nailed it. I got that in the perfect spot. That flinger is going to cook, get both of those buildings, and it also just sets a funnel for the heroes, which is nice because I won't have the siege barracks now if I do want them to go on the left. But yeah, Warden's going to walk in right here. Nice invis path thing going in. I just wanted to pull the poison tower to be a little bit, just better off. I would rather it not slow down my Warden or hit my healers especially. So yeah, we get the ice block right here because I see a nice, triple invis. I don't need to risk it really. And I saw that it was going to hit the scatter. Look at that quake placement. I picked up the scatter shot with it. And yeah, beautiful, beautiful fireball. This one I used the Skelly spell, I think. No, I didn't actually because the Monolith was already tanking out. I remember I was thinking about using it to distract the Minion Prince at least. But I figured it'd be better value later on. On this one, obviously, I did use I fireballed the Clan Castle, so I was going to poison the Minion Prince. Headhunter died. I tried to get away without the poison, but I just used the poison to be safe. I don't remember. Yeah, I think I invis just because I was a little worried about the amount of damage I would take. And it's always better to be safe than sorry. Obviously, you can't be too safe and use every single one of your spells and have nothing left. But I figured that was being enough safe that I'd still have spells while doing well. So now we're looking good. My Sui's funneled in nicely. A little bit awkward here. My king going like really far behind my queen and then going to get distracted by the enemy queen. So a little bit awkward. I think I went in Rocketloons on the builder hut. Yeah, to make sure it couldn't take down my headhunter. So that was a pretty smart play. Warden's doing well, and King will turn around. He's getting tornado as well. Like, he took forever to join in. I was a little worried he might beat on the wall by the gold storage or pull my Warden or something, and my heroes were getting weak, so there was a little bit of concern on my end, but not too bad. You see a nice skeleton spell trying to distract this Crusher Mortar, and the King goes back in front. He's going to get a really nice ability right there, and Queen goes in. I rage them up, and you see the Minion Prince once again. Look at that. Like, hitting the Ricochet Cannon and Expo slows down the Warden, and the Queen was doing fine, and King, so it was just needing to help out the Warden. And just look at that. Like, that's not something your world champion's going to be able to do, is clear this whole base. So you see just the value it gets. Supporting your other heroes is, I've said it before and I'll say it again, supporting your other heroes with the Dark Orb is critical, and then finding, a safe area for your Minion Prince itself is second. But second to value, of course, of the Dark Orb. So once again, that was a nice triple, but this is a classic base. I've seen now Cesario or Sicario. I think it's Cesario, but I really have no idea. He's the guy I got this army from. I was talking to him in DMs about some Fireball Rocketloons armies. We were mixing with some stuff, and I think I landed on this army, which is what he uses. I'd been using 1 rage. I'm back to 2 rage, so I think this is actually his exact army. And he approaches this by fireballing where the hook is if they're swapped around. Sometimes there's the gear tower in the core. This one had the hook there, so I'm going to go to my normal plan, which is fireballing from the top. I couldn't risk, fireballing the hook because I don't like charging that close to it. But what I like to do here, it's pretty simple, but usually I just fireball the Expo, but on this particular base, because the Fire Spitter is facing me, which it's not always doing, I just didn't want to risk my healers getting targeted, so I just wanted to hit the scatter shot. I do that pretty easily right there. I think 1 Quake is all I needed. Yep, so that was really nice. And you'll see why that was actually very useful. So I needed to make sure my Warden got pulled. I did that very thing right there. And then my Sui's honestly ready to go in. I'll use the skeleton spell, I think, on entry to preserve, my hero's HP. Keeping an eye on my Warden, but he's going to be safe through the Expo, so I kind of take my eyes off him for a decent bit here. And with the hook tower, your number one, key is make sure your king gets hooked. So in order to do that, you just got to make sure that you funnel him in well enough to the hook's range. So in that case, that's, into the gold storage right there. So I'm using the siege barracks on the flank. That's why I didn't really look for a flinger too hard, because I just needed to make sure my king got hooked. He gets hooked right there. And interestingly enough, like, he doesn't get down the hook tower, and it's because of the builder huts that happen to be there. So it's actually a good thing that I saved that second quake, because I used it right there to finish it off. Otherwise, you could get into trouble. I actually did an esports hit where that happened. In esports, I guess the lower level quake and earthquakes don't get the hook tower, and I got my king hooked in. He didn't take it down, and then it proceeded to pull my queen and pull my warden, and took out my entire army. So I got like an 80% 2-star, and it would have been an easy triple. So yeah, that's one thing to know. And I guess in Legends mode, even, you saw right there, if there's a lot of builder huts, it might not go down. So take that into consideration. But luckily, I did save myself a quake. And you see right here, there's just no air damage. So this is kind of the secondary job of the minion prince. On this one, there was no need to help other heroes. And I found an area that he'd be really safe in, which was this bottom corner, getting free value, taking down buildings that couldn't attack him. And then I'm using a couple of things to distract for those headhunters. I thought the hog would do well, but it pulled the royal champion really far away. And this one was just crushed. I mean, this is a classic base that sometimes I feel like is a typical struggle. And look at me swag, 3 spells in the core. I'm going to keep my rage and a bunch of troops. So yeah, really, really good 3-star. And let's see what the next one has. So this one is another double poison. I actually faced a lot of these. Not many double rage or like easy bases, rage invis core for my army. So it was a little bit of a more focused day by me. But yeah, this one, I was looking at it for a while because I like the value at the bottom there with the double multi-arch tower, but with the monolith, it's kind of hard to get. I usually like to fireball the bottom side and go behind the fire spitters. Behind the fire spitters is usually my key. But then I saw on this base that I just wanted to make sure I got the clan castle and I get a good funnel. So I went for the ricochet cannon on the left to get the clan castle and the X-bow. I think looking back on this one, I would have just hit the gear tower because that gets the clan castle and double Rico, which I think is more value than a ground X-bow. I think a ricochet cannon is a little better. But regardless, I went with 2 invis, pretty cheap, and split my quakes. You see me do right there. You need 2 on the ricochet cannon and 2 on the clan castle, so I made sure I did that. And yeah, we did well. I honestly had poisoned the minion prince, and it was even closer than I thought. I think I went with a rage right here, or maybe an invis. No, I raged because the minion prince was doing a lot of damage. I don't think I necessarily would have died, but I really did not want to risk it, especially after the day had been going so well, and that, I think I was in attack 6 at this point. So I was like, the day's been going too well to risk, losing my warden to a minion prince when I had the spells available. So good fireball. I set up a flinger just to get the ricochet cannon. It's not amazing value, but it funnels my heroes and takes out a little bit of damage. I'm trying to go into this monolith because that's a very heavy section, so I need to make sure I keep my warden alive. I was actually planning on pulling him outside of this mortar. The whole time I was looking at that, getting ready for that, but then you'll kind of see, he actually naturally pathed outside, really well. The Ice Golem and King do incredible right here. So yeah, like I was saying, I was getting ready to pull him out, and then that's why I'm looking over towards him. And then I see after this poison tower goes down, he just naturally goes outside. And so I was like, okay, never mind. He's going to be fine where he is. So that's looking good. I wanted to take out this fire spitter quickly, so I think I sent in a rocket balloon. And yeah, there they go, 2 of them actually. The queen's going to die to the Yetis, and then they go in for the scatter shot. I mean, I had a couple people even say, bring super minions. In my opinion, I rather the Yetis. I've tried them all. So this one was a little close. I think I made a couple mistakes. One is sending my minion prince quite that early. My queen still had a lot of value to get. I didn't need to pop the ability that early. And it kind of gets wasted because then you see, I could have used him right now on the fire spitter, and then he'd go into the core and help take down the town hall and Inferno Towers. I also should have, I think, invis my queen and went with a rage. She would have taken down all the core. Instead, everything dies, and on this one, I was like, oh, we're still crushing it. I got a whole minute, and my warden's not dying. So I sent in all the balloons from this section, and I think, once again, I made a pretty critical mistake, and that was, I think they pull some more traps, but regardless, yeah, look at that, traps. I kind of used all my cleanup weakening these buildings because I thought that'd be helpful, but yeah, it turns out now I have nothing left. In this case, I think I should have saved my wizards till the multi-inferno went down. And I probably would have went with an invis on the builder hut. Go get the multi-inferno as quick as possible. And, then I could have used wizards and other cleanup troops accordingly. That actually would have done something with the 15 seconds I had left. So I went for an invis on the booger to try to keep as much damage as I could on the multi-inferno. I actually missed and hit the inferno tower. At this point, I thought it was time failing. And then I realized still the warden does some decent damage, so I was like, I'm still good. Way too close for comfort, though. You see, I think 2 seconds left. Yep, I get the triple, so that was scary. And yeah, hopefully we can avoid doing that in other ones. But second last hit of the day, and obviously this is the one you might know that I did get 99% on, that stupid ground air bow up top, the ground and air X bow. But yeah, this one, there was some good fireball value up top, obviously, but I wanted to hit the core because, yeah, if you hit the core, it can set up some nice pathing for you to go around it. I generally like to hit the core. Depends how much value I get. This one did have a strong case. If you hit an X bow, you get a crusher mortar, scatter shot, multi-inferno, I think. But once again, taking out the outside building with the Barchers so that I can set up the Flame Flinger, and taking out the mortar deeper with the Rocketloons. I saw I pulled Clan Castle. Actually just was Archers, but yeah, I wanted to take out the multi-gear and the Fire Spitter, so that was my plan right here. It worked out actually perfectly on this attack. My Warden's charging, and yeah, I want to hit the Ricochet Cannon because then I'd get the other Ricochet Cannon as well. So that would be ideal, but obviously it is pretty deep in there, so if I hit a multi-inferno, I wouldn't be too mad. I'd just miss a Ricochet, and, you know, I'd take it. But here I'm going to rage because there's a multi-Archer Tower, X-Bow, and Royal Champion that I'm going to get. It actually took me a while, I think, to engage this Royal Champion, which I was a little, interested about. I was a little worried my rage would wear off. But don't think I needed that Headhunter either, since the Warden was still under rage. Might have been a bit of a mistake, but, just one Headhunter isn't going to make or break the attack. It is still nice to be, certain, though, that you don't waste as much stuff as possible. But on this one, you'll see actually something interesting I do is I take down this air defense, because then when my Flinger takes out the Fire Spitter, it'll go to the Gear Tower instead of going towards the air defense and dying to the X-Bow. So that was actually a really neat interaction, or I guess, yeah, play that I made. I took out the Poison Spell here too because I wasn't sure. I think, something else that would have helped would have been taking out the air defense with like Barchers or Rocketloons, and then I could have set up, the Invis on the Poison Tower and had an extra Invis now. I went for a wall break because I was planning to Sui that section, and then, I realized with the Crusher Mortar, that would be really hard to Sui, not that hard to Warden. So I'm actually going to flip the plan, and I wasted a wall break, but it's not the end of the world. And then, my Warden's going to kind of, he just one-on-ones the Archer Tower, one-on-ones the X-Bow. Just going through the damage, like, really slowly is just really key, and then he's not going to, like, engage them all at the same time, like if he came in from a flat side or something like that. And right here, I'm doing really well. My heroes hold their abilities so long on this one. Minion Prince comes in. Once again, this one may be a bit early. I really like the value he gets, though. Like, I wait till he turns onto the Queen right here, and then I pop his ability through everything. He literally hits every defense but the Wizard Tower. I think I take down the Wizard Tower and then go Rocket Balloons onto the air defense to keep the Minion Prince alive a little longer. And it probably... Oh, no, I think he'll pull the Poison Tower right now. So, yeah, I go take down the air defense. I realized that a little too late. I definitely could have done that sooner. But at this point, I was like, I have 2 hero abilities, so I used the King right there. The only problem is that, I missed that freeze one, which was a little risky on the Minion Prince. I'm getting a little low on time, and, my heroes both had abilities, so I think I could have maybe popped my Queen ability a lot earlier right there, because right now, they kind of get stuck. So then it could have taken down this whole middle and helped my Minion Prince only have the outside left. But I still thought I was doing well in this one. The Skeletons were tanking well. The Queen and Giant were kind of crushing. But at this point, the Queens are getting double teamed by the Ricochet Cannon. And I was really worried. Everything is so weak. I was like, don't tell me I got like a 96 with everything 1 HP. Turns out, 99, 1 HP X-Bow. So that one was obviously frustrating on the second last hit of the day. But it is what it is. That's the nature of the game, is you don't do everything perfectly. And on this one, I was just trying to make sure... I don't tilt and still get a triple on the final hit. I'm pretty sure Nigerian Prince is Destro. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he is. So starting from 9 o'clock on this one, I just generally like to charge from the left side rather than the right. And I go for a fireball onto the... I think I just hit the Ricochet on this one because the Multi-Inferno was really deep. But the Multi-Inferno does get the Monolith, so I think I might have went for that one. I just know that my King was going to get hooked in and go take out the core. So I wasn't too worried about getting down the Monolith, so I don't think I did. Also, I set up a Flinger here to try to get the Fire Spitter. Don't think it did. I think I just got the Ricochet Cannon, but looking back on it, I think that actually would have been very good value and should have been comfortable with just the Ricochet Cannon. Even if that's all I knew I was going to get, I should have used that because it's going to set up a funnel right here, taking down the Dark Storage and stuff to really help my Sui go in. Better than a Siege Barracks could funnel, to be honest, because it's not getting all the way in there. The Ricochet Cannon and heroes are going to destroy the P.E.K.K.A.s. But yeah, at this point, my Warden's walking really far, and I didn't want to go any further. I don't need to invis the Scatter, though, so I go in for this Fireball, checking the Rage Vial tells me, or the Rage Gem, sorry, tells me where the Fireball's going to land. He walks into the X-Bow. And Sui's in, like I said. I just need to make sure my king gets hooked. So doing a pretty good job here at funneling with the wizard baby dragon. Ice Golem goes in first, not too bad, kind of saving the HP of my heroes. But yeah, King's going to get hooked next. I was a little worried maybe Frosty or something was going to step up right here. But good thing it was the King. If it wasn't, I was just going to pop his ability on that scatter shot. At this point, you saw me rage the Queen. I saw what was happening with the 2 heroes down below and then the Queen on the right. Like, that's all the heroes on the base. So I just wanted to make sure I used my headhunters. I think I used 2 out of the 3 right there. Queen's doing fine. At this point, I know I'm tripling. There's like no base left on the bottom. The side's gone, so it's just this multi-gear. If I keep my Warden alive through there, we triple. Minion Prince will clear this side easy. So you see him walk in. Once again, I don't know what your opinion is on him, but look at that use right there. So I'm going to get the Minion Prince hitting the Town Hall, Ricochet Cannon, and Multi-Inferno. And my Queen is going to go crazy simply because of that. Simply put, the Minion Prince clutched up this attack. So 2 ground bows. Once again, I'm just flying right over. So absolutely obliterating this base. We're going to be swagging 5 spell space and 4 balloons, 3 Rocketloons, all my wall breakers, some Barchers, like absolutely crushing attacks. So really good use of the Minion Prince, really good use of the Fireball, everything of the such. And yeah, that's really just the power. I really hope you guys enjoy watching these videos, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.